Right now, I'd like to introduce the mayor of Frankenmuth, the Honorable Gary RUPPRECHT.
Willkommen, Grüß Gott, God's greetings to all of you people here tonight. We're very excited to have Frankie Yankovic in town tonight. We're also very excited to have all of you here. And we're very proud of our town. We have approximately 4,382 citizens in Frankenmuth, and they all work together to make this the city that it is. We're very appreciative that you're here in Frankenmuth. All these residents are proud of their city, and they hope that you take a little touch of Bavaria back home with you before you leave. We're also very proud of MARV HERZOG, Mark JANSON, and THERESA for putting on this festival. They've been putting this on for several years now, and it's a great boon to the city. It's great to have people like you from all over the United States here in Frankenmuth, and I'd like to recognize, and let's give a big hand to the sponsors of this event, THERESA, Mark, and Mark. Now I'll talk about what I'm supposed to talk about while I'm up here. We're here tonight to honor an individual who really needs no introduction. You know, there is a little bit of a rivalry between the state of Michigan and the state of Ohio. Are there any Buckeyes here tonight? Well, this Buckeye that's up on the stage here is a Buckeye that's won the hearts and minds of everybody in the country, even all Wolverines. I happen not to be a Wolverine, I'm a Spartan, but we do have a little rivalry with Ohio State also. We're pleased to have Frankie here tonight. We're a little late on his birthday. His birthday was in July, but we couldn't reschedule the festival, or you might not have been here. But we here tonight are happy to recognize an individual who received the first Polka Grammy Award. He also was the first inductee into the International Polka Hall of Fame. We're tonight here celebrating his birthday, and I have the honor here tonight to present to Frankie a key to the city of Frankenmuth. Now, a key to the city of Frankenmuth is a little different than a key to most cities. This key opens more doors than any old key. I can guarantee you, Frankie, if you go door to door around here with this, you'll never be shut out anyplace. Now, Frankie, if you'd come up here, please. This key to the city has in German, they say a Wappen. It's our shield of our city on the one side, and on the other side is the City Hall of Frankenmuth, Michigan, and it says on here, Happy 75th, Frankie Yankovic, America's Polka King. Now I'm going to turn it over to the Polka King to make some remarks.
What could I say? What could I say? Mark, thank you. The city of Frankemuth, Marv, Mark, and THERESA. Least but not last, all you people out there. If it wasn't for people like you and musicians like we have on here, there would be no festival. You agree on that? I feel very honored, and I want to say one good thing, Gary. It's a good thing you didn't switch your celebration on my birthday because I was in the hospital at that time. I wouldn't have been there. So it's a good thing you switch it. All I can say, I'm not going to talk much more. Because, you know, one question they always ask me, Frank, when are you going to retire? I have one answer. As long as I see people like you happy, I'll keep winning. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frankie. Happy birthday to you. 75 years young.
You know what? I just can't believe that I'm 75. I mean, really, I don't. I feel like I'm back in the 40s. And I'm going to try to keep them that way. And once again, we're not going to talk much more. I want to say one thing. Let's give all the polka musicians that are keeping the polka music going, because we're not going to be here forever. Let's give them all a big, big round of applause. All the musicians. Come on, let's turn over and go. Thank you very much. I'll be with you later on. And don't forget, it's just too bad. Doctor's order won't let me fill it up with what you want to put in there. But I'll put something else for tonight and tomorrow. And then I'll come back to Frankenmuth and put the real McCoy in there.
You know, there's a lot of people in the country that when President Reagan was president of the United States, they were awed by his age, and in fact, how he operated in the office at his age. But here's a guy who's also a legend in his own time, and a guy who's inspiration to all senior citizens out there to not stop what you're doing, to polka as much as you can and have fun. Frankie Yankovic. I now have the honor to introduce Frankemuth's own MARV HERZOG, who also was inducted back in the late 70s, 79, I believe, into the Polka Hall of Fame. We're very proud of MARV and what MARV stands for, and I'd like to now introduce to you MARV HERZOG, our Polka Hall of Fame.
How about a nice hand for our Honorable Mayor, Gary Rupprecht, the Frankenmuth. I only have one little story I'd like to tell. Many, many years ago, I fell in love with Frankie Yankovic's music, and that was when I was a young puppy, just a few short years ago, you see. And after that, we finally got to meet the gentleman, and so I'm playing around the United States, and I had many, many aspirations of, gee, wouldn't it be great if I could also play on the same stage as Frankie Yankovic. Well, it happened some 3-4 years ago out in Mesa, Arizona, the very first time. You didn't need a stage for me. I was flying on cloud 9 when I had Frankie Yankovic on stage with MARV HERZOG Orchestra, and for 45 minutes we played Frankie's stuff, and the bottom line was, he walked up to the microphone and said, there's no better backup band he's ever played with than the MARV HERZOG Bavarian Polka Band.
And I meant that.
And since then, we have been able to do this many, many times all over the United States, including Saginaw, Michigan. I don't know whether you remember the Saginaw Fair. Saginaw County Fair, we had Frankie here, and we did a show out there, and we've done this all over the United States.
I was in the hospital that time, too.
That was the first year. Second year, you were here. First year, that's right, he was in the hospital. And we hooked up a microphone, and we called him in the hospital room, and he talked to everybody in the grandstand of the Saginaw Fair that night. And, buddy, you better get healthy.
I forgot to mention one thing, you know, if it wasn't for my wife, Ida, she'd been a great, great help to me. And really good. She's out there selling records.
Anyhow, I have had many, many dreams come true, and I have one more dream that I'm working on. That someday, they'll be able to say the same thing about MARV HERZOG as they are now saying about Frankie Yankovic. Maybe someday I'll be there. He is still my idol, Mr. Frankie Yankovic. 60 years on the road. 60 years on the road with an orchestra. Think about it. Think about it.
Right now, I'd like to introduce the another co-sponsor of the Summer Music Fest, the best-looking part of the Music Fest. How about a nice, the skinniest part of the Music Fest? How about a nice round of applause for MARV HERZOG's wife, THERESA HERZOG.
Okay, thank you. This is the plaque. We hope that Frankie treasures it the rest of his life, and it says, the Summer Music Fest honors Frankie Yankovic for his 75th birthday, and 60 years of outstanding performances in the world of polka music. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Marv and myself. Don't realize what it is to have a wife that will work along with you. So let's give Theresa and Ida a nice big hand.
We would like a word or two from Mrs. Frankie Yankovic. How about a nice hand for Ida?
Well, thank you very much. I'm a little hoarse because of a birthday celebration in my hometown, Harmony, Pennsylvania, which brought in hundreds of people. I'm very happy to see all of you here. I hope you'll continue to support Marv and Theresa on this fantastic Frankenmuth Festival. God bless each and every one of you, and have a happy day.